Mrs. Mulema, thank you so much for meeting with us today. As a member of the Zantu ethnic community and minority group, I would like to inform you regarding the challenges that we have had throughout the development of Planiland's education sector plan. Although I come from one of the oldest and largest ethnic communities located in the central part of the country, we have seldom been included systematically in many of the government's education sector planning processes. This planning process has unfortunately been no different. A representative from the Ministry of Education reached out to us and invited us to a meeting a few months ago. The meeting was in the format of an open forum, and we took the opportunity to express our commitment to being part of this process and also air some of the concerns that we have regarding the importance of our mother tongue and the fact that for the last decades we have been requesting that the language be recognized and that our children be supported with the pedagogic materials in our language. Currently, teachers must teach children in the English language in the classroom, and many children do not understand the language and only hear it at school. Children often do not understand what is being taught or communicated by the teacher, which means that our students are struggling to master the most basic skills. During reading, children are struggling with the words and the sounds because the language sounds foreign to them. During other subjects, our teachers are also struggling to communicate in language that is equally foreign to them. In addition, at home, most students are unable to receive support because their parents also struggle with the language of instruction. In many cases, this has led to teachers feeling demoralized and to children dropping out of school and parents feeling that they see little progress in their child's education. Our community understands that there are many things to consider when we're putting a plan in place. But we have been very frustrated that our concerns have not been responded to by the government and that the government has not included programs or activities to support our children's learning in their mother tongue, at least in the early years. In addition, since the first plan preparation meeting, which we were invited to and at which I voiced my concerns, we have not been contacted again until now to comment or participate in a discussion of the policies in this draft plan. I would implore you to please reflect our concerns and recommend that the government include support for our children's learning in their mother tongue, the language they speak best and understand.
Dear Mrs. Ngole, I am aware of your concerns regarding the situation of the Zantu minority in the country, and I understand that it is mainly related to the linguistic exclusion that your people have suffered until today. Unfortunately, it is beyond my competencies to include any recommendation regarding the linguistic policy included in the ESP, or the special treatment of any minority, since those are policy choices that must be made at the government level. My role as an appraiser is limited to the assessment of the coherence of the policy choices with the strategies and activities developed in the plan, as well as to verify if they are feasible from a technical and financial point of view. Whether your mother tongue should be recognized as a teaching language in your country is a policy choice that the government has already made, so I have no influence whatsoever on this issue, since what they propose is already technically and financially feasible according to the plan. I would recommend you to address yourself to your government and make your case to them, because if their view doesn't change, I cannot do anything to help you. Would you have any other comment to make on the ESP TEP process that I could help you with?
Dear Mrs. Ngole, yes, I understand your position and I agree. My personal belief is that all minority languages should be taught in school for the following reasons. First, the research on education has shown that early years of education are critical. Children should be taught in their mother tongue. This method has proven more efficient in several countries. It allows the child to gain proper knowledge before switching to another language of instruction. Second, The research in social sciences has also proven that imposing a foreign language in early grades might give an advantage to children from wealthier families. In general, wealthier families tend to start training their children in several languages before the beginning of school. This economic social gap might persist during the learning years. Third, I think it is of essence for a nation to ensure that all languages are preserved. It is key to the nation's historical and cultural heritage. Several languages have disappeared because they were not taught in school and people forget how to speak their native language. Fourth, even if the government defines the priorities of the country, they also need to pay attention to their citizens' views. I have read that several organizations have been protesting for the same reason. My role is also to help diffuse the situation. Finally, the sector plan development process should be participatory and inclusive. This is one of the GPE's appraisal dimension. The LEG should be a forum for discussion and consideration of all stakeholders' views. So, I definitely agree with you on this point. Thank you again for trusting me with this information. I will make sure that your positions are captured in the appraisal report as recommendations.